Oh, so you think you a shooter? What kind of ammo you running? What kind of training you getting? Are you running iron sights? Are you running a red dot? Are you proficient with them iron sights? We're gonna lock in today. Welcome to We the People Podcast. I'm Shelton, gun enthusiast, Mr. M&P. I'm joined by the crew.
I'm Fred, founder of the Survivor Sisters. Father Fine, if you know, tell your mama to call me because I'm all with all that good stuff.
Colin of Gunplay TV, man. Firearms instructor, competitor, enthusiast, professional fly guy.
Ladies and gents, you already know, Nick, Texas Canic shooter this side of Mississippi. Fellas, this is a great topic. We get a lot of questions on what you should do first. Now, I'm going to start it off and say, you get that first gun, whether it's a Canic, Glock, M&P, Smith & Wesson, whatever, Taurus, whatever it is. I'm saying go iron sights.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I like how you put Canic first, by the way. That was slick. Yeah. I think it's best to start with irons. The red dots they're sexy. I think we all like red dots. And me personally, y'all know me, I'm an optics dude, so I'm gonna eventually put a red dot on everything. Mm-hmm. But when you're learning how to shoot and you're picking up the fundamentals and you're just getting into it, I think there's a lot to be said about learning the irons, off the bat.
Did y'all start with red dots, Shelton?
No, iron sights.
Irons.
I started shooting when Moses was around.
Oh,
so
we had a slingshot.
Boy had the wood sights.
So like I said, I didn't realize how to really shoot. I thought I was a good shot until I started taking them contractor courses. And like I said, iron sights was something that was never gonna fail you, depending on what was going on with the dirt, dust, your eyesight, whatever. Mm-hmm. Because now, a lot of people focus on target acquisition, but then we were focused on combat accuracy. I want to hit you and put you down. Right. So the iron sights will never fail. It took me a long time. That was a great big curve with me and that red dot. Like I suffered through the red dot. I think my first red dot, Juan got it for me.
Okay.
Q Culture. He got it for me. He forced me to do it. He could come to the house. He was like, "No, you got to get on this guy." I'm like, nah. We went to the FU, and Bill Brown with Make Ready Firearms. He was training us on the red dot that day. Now, mind you, this years ago, Housing first came out. I could not hit nothing with that red dot to save my life. Do you understand? So, iron sights, start with it.
Yeah, iron sights, so you can get the fundamentals. Yeah, you can pick up any gun and know how to shoot it. Mm-hmm. Right. And if your battery's low on your red dot, you can still go to your iron sights. So yeah, start off with your iron sights until you get real comfortable, and then when you want to step up.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised at this start of this conversation here.
He swear we snobs.
Well, I kind of switched it up a little bit. Y'all kind of convinced me, yo.
First time, I think, in the history of this show.
Yeah.
We've all agreed on the same thing.
Hey, man.
I know it is. Everybody said iron sights. I was prepared to come in here and argue with you guys about iron sights. And the reason I say that is because, again, we're always talking about preparedness, training, the what if situation. Mm-hmm. And you guys, with one of my videos, I told you, I don't run a light on my EDC.
Yeah, I don't approve of that.
Yeah. And my EDC, the red dot is not even on until I go to competition. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that.
So you got a red dot on there, but it's not turned on?
I got a red dot on right now. I got a red dot.
Let's go ahead and roast this man. First of all,
but let me tell you why, though.
Yeah, tell me
I'm
why.
going to tell you why. And I was talking to some police officers today, some military people, and it's case scenario. A lot of police officers don't even run red dots. And some of until you get into like special departments, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Same with the military. Until you get into these special departments, you don't run a red dot, and it's because you want to go off that instinct and not have to think. Mm-hmm. You've seen in competition the best shooters in the world. I lost my red dot.
Yeah,
and when that battle happens, God forbid it does, we're gonna be this close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shelton, you said it earlier today. When you was pulling out that knife, you could get to that knife faster than you get to that gun.
Yeah.
It's going to happen with that, again, God forbid, that shootout. Mm-hmm. You're going to point shoot. Mm-hmm. And that's why that's what my red dot have.
See, now I disagree. I think the reason that a lot of cops aren't running red dots is because the unit doesn't pay for them.
Yes.
Now, I think there's cops out there that take shooting seriously, and if you're a cop, get down in the comments and let us know if I'm wrong here. But I think those people that are taking it seriously, especially the competition shooters, that's where I learned. You know, I will tell you this: a red dot is faster if you have that time to aim. Now, you may not have the time to aim. So, Nick, I think you're correct in the sense that, you know, if it's a quick situation and we're in, you know, 5 to 7 yards, or God forbid it's even closer, yeah, I'm point shooting. But, you know, we've said it many times here. I'd rather have it and not need it, or in this case, not use it, than not have it, right? So my red dot's always on. We run hollow suns. They got the shake away. Yeah. If I pick it up, it's going to be on, whether or not I'm point shooting otherwise. But if I am aiming, I'm not trying to take that second to turn it on. Or I'm certainly not trying to rely on irons for that. What was the dude it might have been a year or so back. I think it was 35 yards that he took a shot inside the mall and took out the active shooter. I want a red dot for that. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to be the hero, but God forbid I'm placed in this situation. I definitely want the added precision and quickness that comes to the red dot. But the reason I say start with irons is if you learn your irons well, you'll be able to pick up the red dot relatively quickly. But if you start with the red dot, it doesn't necessarily go the other way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think, I mean, like I said, I was trained on combat accuracy. And I'm going to tell you now, I ain't finna be the hero. So it's somebody to get paid shoot somebody at 35 yards because I'm not dealing with that. But here's the thing. Have you ever shot that red dot in the rain?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
But it's pouring down.
Yeah.
You able to do what you need to do.
Now, that's why I run in clothes, though.
Yeah, in clothes,
Because and I think what you're getting at is that water, dirt, shit like that gets in that optic. And
whatever.
Work. And then you got, what about stigmatism? People that got stigmatism, like you're not picking it up. People that left eye dominant. That's an issue, too. You got to understand, like I said, I got a red dot on my gun, but I am going automatically to the iron sights because guess why? It is cool. You train enough with it. I think the disadvantage is Colin trains enough with it. He shoots enough with the red dot that he can get comfortable with it. But it's just like y'all old people with them phones. Come on now, granddaddy. You know that you're not good with that phone. He was raised on red dot. If you were raised on iron sights and that's what you do, that red dot you have is not a need. I mean, it's not a need. It's a necessity. Because one thing about it, I don't care what happened. I am defaulting to the iron sights because guess what? I know once I point that thumb, that bullet is going where I want it to go. Because I'm not shooting at 35 yards. He is 15 feet or whatever, and I want to make sure I can put it down. Combat accuracy is my thing. Red dot, he's in. Hey y'all, he used ChatGPT for everything.
Yeah. And I think when we talk about like cops, like I mean, we can pull up some videos of cops within like 5 yards missing their target.
Yeah.
So we can't have that as a standard. Like some of them are running iron sights and they need to run red dots.
Yeah.
And then we talk about.
You think you could pick up a target quicker with a red dot?
Oh yeah, because I run Holliston with the ACSS reticle.
I'm talking about in the moment.
And so
of danger.
you never with an ACSS reticle, you will never be searching for your red dot. You've never seen me have fumbling around for trying to find my red dot.
We're on a range, comfortable taking deep breaths.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the crackheads in your face.
Oh my gosh, you're the crackheads.
What is it with crackheads, man?
Yes, man.
I live in the city. I see crackheads a lot. I'm talking about a crackhead is in
I live in
face.
Kennesaw. I got the meth heads out there.
Oh, man.
You're not, when you pull that thing out.
Pause.
Yeah. When you pull that thing out and you shoot it.
When you draw your firearm, I get what you're going. Yeah.
Unless you red bang.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't think you're gonna want to focus on trying to find a red dot.
We got two different things though. So like Fred said, if I'm shooting at 35 yards or 10 yards, then I'm hitting that red dot. If not, I'm just
point shooting.
Just point shooting.
Which is the same with or without irons. Like, I mean, it's like this, right? You said if I draw under pressure, am I searching for that red? I'm gonna be searching for the front sight.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's either point shooting or I'm aiming. And if I'm aiming, the red dot's always going to be faster. And it's just it's the means by which you aim, right? So, Fred, you've been shooting irons for a while, right? But typically, he said he's been doing this since Moses was around, man. He was on the art with him. Listen, they say you get that first sight and you focus on that front sight over your target, right? That just the mechanical, at least maybe it's me because I grew up around the screens, but for me, it's easier to use a red dot once I got that muscle memory of kind of acquiring my sight picture, because I'm focusing on my target and putting the dot over it versus putting the front sight over my target and focusing on the front sight. And so I think, in my opinion, it's faster, but it's harder to learn if you don't have that muscle memory. If you haven't been shooting irons and you're not getting that sight picture perfect every time you draw, you're not quite ready to go to a red dot. But once you start, pull out that gun under pressure and you right where you want it to be within reason, you can go ahead and graduate to a little hollow something.
But yeah, that's why we do the build drills. Because I was just telling Devin, shout out to our boy Devin. It was just at the range with us. I was like, when we're doing the build drill, we're actually pulling out and we're not really aiming with our red dot. Like we know where the target is at, and that's why we try to practice that one, that particular drill, so we know exactly where we present, that we are right at the target. And what if we do it at like 7 or 5 yards or something like that? But
7 yards.
7 yards, right? So that's why we do that drill, and we're not really looking at a red dot. We just pulling up and popping.
Yeah, once I see that red
proves
dot,
my point.
Yeah,
it proves my point.
For point shooting.
Yeah,
yes, but we train for that though.
When you look at the average and statistic about violence and how the close proximity to you, it's not 35 yards away.
Typically, it's 7 yards in it.
Yeah, like Fred said, we're having a great debate on iron sights and red dots, and I think we've got to a point where people will ask you what type of red dot, if I buy one, how long after training do I transition to a red dot? Because, and before we get to that point, how long did you train with the iron sights? Because that's when you buy that gun, you're gonna have iron sights first. Typically, you don't buy the full package.
Yeah.
How long did you guys take to train with those iron sights before you transition to a red dot?
Man, it was a while. It was a while before I even bought my second pistol. So that gun still doesn't have a red dot on it, and I kept it that way. And when we say red dot, we're talking about the optic that's sitting on top of the gun. Most of y'all would know that. Just don't rush out and do it. You don't need to feel like you got to completely kit your gun out off the bat. Get out there, get some practice, get some reps. And I don't think that, to your question, Nick, I don't think that there's a definite time frame. It's going to be a matter of comfortability. How long have you been shooting? How many rounds have you put down range? And are you getting good with that basic mechanics of acquiring your sight picture? I think once you get there, you might get there in 2 weeks if you're a great shooter. It might take you 2 years. Take your time. Don't rush it. Don't feel like you need to spend this money just to climb the ladder.
And don't go out and buy a $4,000 gun and you got a $4 body. And the reason I say that is because what you're doing is this right here. Just because you can afford to go buy it, don't mean you need it. Because one thing about it is a big difference between being a good shooter and being a good gunfighter. I know people love to be like, I'm competition, you a gunfighter. Now, when people shooting back at you and y'all fight, y'all slinging lead, and you got to run, please be able to not die because you trying to breathe, okay? That red dot, when you can't breathe, it do some crazy stuff. I promise you it do. So if you know you got a hard time breathing, the red dot ain't gonna do you no good. I promise you that. I promise you. The red dot only do good when you standing still. And if the red dot only do good when you standing still, that means you dying when you running, and you don't need it anyway. Just saying.
Made a great point. You know, I always say about that fitness now.
Hey,
how long before you transition to the red dot?
Man, you know, I had my first gun for about 8 months before I even bought bullets for it.
Oh man, shame on you.
I used to have dreams about like me being in situations and like not like pulling the trigger, and the pull was so long, and I would never have any bullets for it. I was just scared to buy bullets at that time. I was like 20 years old, 22 or something like that, and it was crazy. So I got rid of that gun because I moved to California, and then I moved back to Atlanta. And when I bought my gun from in Atlanta, I had it for maybe 6 months before I bought a red dot. 6 months.
Okay.
And that was like me training, because again, like I said, when I had that gun in California, I was actually in Las Vegas before I moved to California. I never even shot it.
Stayed in the box, basically.
It stayed in the box. And I think a lot of people do that, where they buy a gun and they're just scared to shoot it because they don't know where range to go to. They don't have any friends to train them. That was before YouTube. right? Yeah. Like YouTube now, like as soon as I get a gun, I am Googling it and I'm going to YouTube and I'm how to break it down, how to work it. Every single gun I get, like with the MP5, I didn't know how to work it. My Benelli M4, I didn't know how to work it at all. No one told me, but I watched a video on YouTube and it showed me all the mechanics of it, all how to work it. So we live in an information age where you can go and find this stuff, and even communities. Yeah, they got communities for new gun owners on Facebook. Yep. And so, you know, it's a wealth of information out there now. So
yeah, I mean, every gun is different. I think, you know, like you said, YouTube, if y'all are watching this, y'all are already on the right track. If you just picked up a new gun, do what Shelton said, right? Go out there, find some videos, maybe find a Facebook group of, you know, MMP owners or whatever it is that you might own. And you'll get some ideas. But I think what it sounds like is, you know, when we're talking about red dots versus irons, we're talking about proficiency. We're talking about training. Ultimately, you've got to get out there and get the reps. I think we all know somebody like Shelton once upon a time that purchased a gun and just hasn't taken the time to get out there and get familiar with it. There's no reason to continue to throw money at these things and build your gun out if you're not going to train with it and figure out where you're going to start. You know, your local range, you know, it's going to give you 25 yards to shoot. And if you really are interested, I would encourage you to seek out training courses, right? There are courses for women. There are courses for new shooters, concealed carry. And then you got levels to that, right? Pistol 1, 2, 3. You know, again, you'll find yourself climbing this ladder, and then suddenly you're out here with me and Nick competing, right? It takes time, but take your time.
And let me be honest about something. A lot of people go to the range to show how great they are instead of train. The range is where you mess up at. Yep. Go. Let me tell you something. Every time I go to the range, there's some little young buck like Colin. I swear to y'all. I'm just saying. It's always some young cat who think I'm Moses. And just like Jeremiah told me last weekend, if I can't do it, then I don't need to teach it. And so you got to keep being held accountable. You go to the range to be held accountable, not to be great, because you can be great at home on the internet. When you get that gun, go to a place where people going to hold you accountable, keep you safe. And let me tell you something. Pay for the training.
Yes.
The YouTube is cool, but YouTube does not equate to training. You have to go be held accountable. You may do competition. That's still not training. You have to be held accountable. There's somebody, and your friend who teaches self-defense is not teaching you how to live with that gun or survive with it. Go pay for some training for somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Your homeboy is always going to tell you, hey, man, you did great this time. Go somewhere else that ain't your homeboy.
Yeah, and get one-on-one training, too, because I feel like a group is kind of intimidating. You know, if you're just a first-time shooter, just find some one-on-one training. It doesn't have to be all day, just a couple hours. On a basic firearm course. And then once you get a little bit more comfortable, you start going to the range by yourself. And it's not a show. It's not a competition. You're in competition with yourself. Right. Like when I go to the range, if it's an indoor range, I'm focusing on my trigger pull or, you know, focusing up on follow-up shots. And it's just something that I'm working on every single time I go out to train. It's not just to take videos and be cool and stuff like that. It's something internal that I'm working on for myself to become a better shooter.
Yeah, training. We always preach training on this show, and so that's a great transition into the types of training, how to train, because we get a lot of questions. I know I get tons of questions in DMs about how do I train, where do I train, what should I train, and that's going to be different for everybody. But like we're saying, we're talking about the people who are relatively new to guns, whether you have an iron sight or you're running a red dot. You, like Fred says, you really need to seek out some classes and get around like-minded people, because all of us have different guns and we got different setups. And so when you get around other people like that, you're going to have those conversations and figure out what works best for you. Now, this is outside training. If you have the luxury to do that, state by state, different laws, you got to take that in consideration. And then also, like you said, the indoor ranges. What type of training? I know Fred has been through extensive training, but what type of training have you guys gone through when you kind of beginning stages of, I got a gun, red dot, iron sights? What kind of training have you guys been through?
I mean, I think it's an evolution. And the way I started, right, was getting comfortable with the gun first, right? As a new gun owner, I want to be able to load it. I want to be able to disassemble it, take the gun down, reassemble it, be familiar with the safety operations. And I learned a lot of that at home, you know, making sure that my ammunition's in the other room and just being safe. And then slowly I started finding myself taking an introductory to pistol class. And then I, maybe took a pistol 2. Then before you know it, now I'm doing rifle stuff, and I'm doing rifle 1, rifle 2, etc. But, the internet's a powerful tool. If you get on Google and firearms training in my area, chances are you will find an instructor that can provide you with some level of feedback. And I think that's kind of what you were getting at, right? Get around some people that are going to make you better, right? You can do all of this stuff at home, but there's no correction on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's nobody to tell you what you're doing wrong or what you can improve. Yeah. So you go to these classes, ideally it's one-on-one, it might be a small group, but you're always going to find that those paid experiences and those trained individuals are going to train you better. So
yeah, and I did therapy for a long time. One thing they taught me doing that was you pay for what you get. The reason why people pay for therapy is because you actually want to get something out of it. So if you go into your homeboy that was special forces or he was SWAT team and you're not paying him, you're not getting anything because y'all hanging out. And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, then if you got an instructor and end all is be all with him, he's not good for you. The first instructor I started with, when we went through all the stuff, the intro stuff that he was really capable of teaching me, guess what he did? He sent me to other people to train me, and I had to pay for it. And I'm not talking about $50 or $150. It started out $500 plus 1,000 rounds of ammo, 500 rounds of pistol. It started with everything. You can't show up with it. Then it went to $5,000. Then it went to a week of training. So you had to understand, how far do you want to go?
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, when you're going to idle out with your homeboy who is y'all shooting every weekend, and that way you're coming. Get with those people. I'm not telling you you pay $4,000 for the gun. You should at least be able to put $4,000 in the training. That's just what it works. So when people say that to me, like I say, the value of that gun is worth how much training you put behind it.
Right on, brother. I always say that. But you brought up a great point with the cost of ammo. And that's something that we want to touch on, because we talked about the red dots, iron sights. We talked about the training. Now, the ammo.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, it goes right along with the training.
Yeah.
When you buy that gun and you're debating on tricking it out, buying all the accessories, I'm pretty sure we all first say buy ammo, because what subsequently comes after that is training.
Exactly.
And the more comfortable you are with your tool, the better off you're going to be. And you're going to learn a lot about it. You're going to learn what I need to do, the things that you don't like and do like about that pistol, if you get a lot of reps on it.
Yeah.
Now, I personally, again, I'm a banker. I set aside a monthly budget for bullets. How do you guys go about buying ammo? What type of ammo are you training with? Your self-defense ammo that you would carry?
Yeah.
What's the difference for you guys?
Man, I would tell folks, for me, I like to keep, I'm kind of like Fred in the survivalist sense. With COVID, kind of taught me, right? Ammo prices can go up, can disappear quickly. So I try to keep some at home that I never shoot. That's just for a rainy day. But when it comes time to shoot, you can go down to your local gun range, pick up some ammo there. Now it's probably going to be a little pricier.
Yeah, you never buy.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Never buy ammo at a gun range. Hold up, man.
I personally
don't lead them down that way.
I'm just saying, you can do that.
Yeah, you
are probably gonna. They got to make some money on it, right?
Yeah.
And so personally, I typically, if I'm gonna be buying bulk, 500 rounds and up, I'm gonna go online, right? I'm gonna try to save some money and just get, when you're starting out, just get some standard 115 or 124 grain. That's the bullet weight, basically.
9mm.
9mm, right? And of course, that's going to vary based on what you're shooting. But just get some standard Winchester white box, for example, standard training ammunition, and you can shoot that all day, every day at the gun range. Get comfortable with it because, like you said, talking about tricking the gun out, there's no point if you don't know. There's no point in picking up a Ferrari if you don't know how to whip it. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So get to practice, get to training, and that's all going to come through, putting rounds down range. Now, you talked about, self-defense rounds. That's, of course, going to be a little bit different. Personally, I shoot Spear Gold Dot. You mentioned police before. That's what they use. And the reason I do that is because, this is just kind of insight into my game, but the prosecutor, God forbid, you have to self-defend yourself. I don't want to be shooting RIP ammunition, right? And if y'all know, y'all out there who know what RIP ammo.
What is that?
Yeah, it was like I think it's rapidly invasive projectile or something like that.
It's not critical defense, because that's what I shoot.
That's a good ammo.
Okay.
So I try to stick to the reputable stuff, but if God forbid you're in a self-defense situation, you got a Punisher skull on the back of your Glock and you shoot somebody with RIP ammo, you better believe the prosecutor is going to bring that up.
Yeah, they're going to question you.
And so if I'm ever in that chair and on the stand, I'm going to say, listen, this is what, our boys in blue are running. And, it's a safer choice. So I just run Spear Gold Dot. That's a hollow point ammunition. It's meant to stop in the threat. It's different from your regular full metal jacket.
And you know my thing, when it comes to the law, I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to the law,
talk to him.
Let me tell y'all something. All y'all good Negroes. I know y'all think y'all get in the court and y'all gonna talk to the people and they gonna listen to you. It don't work like that. The law, it is not about right or wrong. It's about reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
It does not matter, regardless of that. When they get your name on that piece of paper, whether you right or wrong, you finna spend some money. And guess what? You can have gold dot, the skull on you can have whatever. The prosecutor, his job is to bring a case. Mm-hmm. So let me explain something to you. You can do that if you want to. Listen to Colin, because Colin is right. I am telling you that when you go down there, don't go down there with your good Negro mindset, thinking that, oh, well, they're going to listen to me, and he knows your lawyer don't work with you. He don't work for you. He took an oath. He's part of that system. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It ain't about right or wrong. It's about reasonable doubt. And when they see you have done whatever you've decided to do, guess what? Just like that training, you finna spend some money. And now if you carrying that gun, you need to have money to spend. So if you can't go get no ammo, you can't go practice, you can't buy no lawyer, put that gun up.
Yeah, it's more liability.
No, man, because we got to think about the people that don't have the money to go training.
Okay.
That's somebody that's just like a single mother that's just trying to protect herself. Okay. Right? They got to go buy, God forbid, a high point. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she got to go buy a Taurus or something.
Smith & Wesson Easy.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson Easy Shield, right?
For the ladies.
Shout out to Smith & Wesson, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, so if she got to go do that and she can't afford the training, she can't afford the Lord, but she trying to protect herself against somebody, right? We got to think about those people too, because, not everybody's going out and training and gearing up and doing all this stuff. So
you gotta find somebody, and it's unfortunate because when you in an indoor range and you see that as a shooter and you see that new beginner coming there with their boyfriend or man, that's scary to me. I'm packing up.
I don't want to be around.
Oh yeah, I packed up a couple times.
New shooters, but
right. Shout out to y'all new shooters, but I'm packing up. Mm-hmm. But you have to go through that process, to Shelton's point, and so you're not worried about necessarily the type of ammo. Fred always says you buy what you can afford. Mm-hmm. You also buy that gun and that red dot or the iron sight that's comfortable. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, you got to find somebody. There's no need to buy a gun like Shelton said. If you don't know how to shoot it,
it's useless. Yeah. It's a liability to you and everybody around you at that point.
You're gonna hurt somebody.
You're more danger to yourself and your loved ones if you don't get that practice, man. So get out there and train.
And check this out, y'all. Y'all women that's watching this show, like, I love y'all. Definitely hook me up with your aunt or your mama. You know what I'm saying? Tell but look, you got these boyfriends. They like guns. It's two type gun owners in this world: people that like guns and people that know guns. People that like guns, they buy a whole bunch of them and they got nowhere to shoot it. They go to an indoor gun range and and you've never met us. So you go with him and he is talking like he know what's going on. He know all the names. He can watch all the YouTube videos, and that he dangerous as hell because he getting you in there in this little box, and he don't know what he doing. Get people when you know guns. You don't underestimate the gun. You don't play with the gun. You focus on safety, and you understand that. Guess what? It's always something to learn.
Yep.
That those guys that walk in those gun ranges with their girlfriend, they be dead wrong and looking at you like, I'll use it on you if you tell her I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
You got to have a healthy respect for the hobby and for the tool itself. They're fun. We all have more than one. Except for Fred. Fred don't have any. But, you know what I'm saying? Just take it seriously. Again, the training, and even we talked about, with the hollow point ammunition, I think that's probably what I recommend y'all carry. Hornady, Critical Defense, word to Shelton, Spear Gold Dot. There's a lot of different options out there. But even once you are putting in those reps, right? your gun might not like that hollow point ammunition. You got to at least send some of that down range every now and then, just so that you know, okay, my gun will cycle these hollow points, because God forbid you get that first shot off in a jam. You better hope that landed.
Yeah,
you did. So
yeah. And if you have any questions, like, they hit us up on IG
for sure.
Go first go into the comments on YouTube.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of people down there. Ask your question. If we can't get to it, someone else would answer it. If y'all want to reach out to us personally, go to the IG, and we answer all of these questions. If it's a genuine question and you got a real concern and you're a new gun user, we answer these questions because we want to help the people out.
Yeah,
so
that's real. I actually had a guy DM me probably about a week ago and asked me literally just that, and almost scary. He followed it to the T, my instructions. Hey, this is his first rifle, first red dot. He was like, if I want to buy my first rifle, what next? That's the question. And so, again, ask us questions and we'll try to give you the best advice coming from our perspectives as we possibly can.
For our perspective. So ask Nick if you want to save money.
I was going to say.
Ask Colin if you want that Gucci.
You want to feel something beautiful, man, holla at me.
You want to save some money, come holler at me. But, always stay tuned, man. And again, don't be scared to ask these questions, man, because we are regular people. We've happened to get to a level where we're starting to master some of our skills. Yeah. And so, but we started out just like everybody else, asking questions, getting around the right people. That's probably, Fred says that all the time, that's probably the most important part. Yeah. Is getting around the right people. And so, any leaving or final thoughts from you fellas when we close out?
And I would say, man, just don't be intimidated to get out there and get comfortable with the tool, man. There was a time when if you had a gun on the table, I was nervous. Yeah. Now you see me, and it's a whole nother game. So just, again, this stuff comes with time. It comes with practice. It comes with experience. Just be safe. Take it seriously. Seek out, training from people that are educated and aren't just kind of giving you that, just the crumbs, right? You want to improve. Right, when you want your son to get better at basketball, you send him to a real coach. You don't just have your uncle train him. You dig what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Just take it seriously. Get the right tools, get the right holsters, the right ammunition, and in the right space, and train.
And I think for me, when you go get training, be careful with who trains you. And the reason why is because you got people who have adopted a mindset and they're not going to change, and they're not going to do any continued education to uplift their training, and they keep training you from 1976 for what they do. So I'm telling you now, if you got an instructor and he's training you, but he's not teaching you how to think with that firearm, you got a problem.
I would say treat a gun like it's always loaded. It's been so many times where I've been watching a YouTube video and doing stuff, and I mean, not so many times. I can think of all of my time, it's been handling guns, has been 4 times that I thought the chamber was empty. And I just try to rack it again. And I'm like, oh, wow. When did I get in there? Yeah. So always triple, double check that chamber when you're cleaning your gun, when you're doing anything, when you move it around, and make sure it's clear. So that's the little point I want to let.
That's game.
Hey, stay tuned to the next episode, man. Don't buy a $4,000 gun with a $4 body.
Bars.
To the next episode.
With the people.